So today I'm going to share 3 money moves that you need to start right now. They can help you build or rebuild a strong money foundation so you can start to feel bulletproof against any financial storm. Let me ask you, have you ever had one of those moments where your entire financial world comes crashing down? I'm talking about the kind of crash that keeps you up at 3 a.m. Your heart is racing. You're wondering if you'll ever recover. Well, that was me just 2 years ago. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in a failed franchise business, 2 years of grinding, hustling, and believing that I was on the path to financial freedom was gone. Hi, I'm Stephanie, her money coach, and welcome back. If this is your first visit, I am thrilled that you're here, and let's jump in. Here's the crazy part. After losing my house, my business, and nearly everything I'd worked for, I learned something priceless, something that completely changed how I think about money and financial security. And these 3 foundational moves are what we're going to talk about. So let's start with the picture. Imagine someone who thought they had it all figured out. That was me. I have a great corporate tech career. I've been a real estate investor for over 15 years, and I was confident that my new franchise venture would be a huge success. I remember the very day my son and I sat at the boardroom table and signed those franchise agreement papers in Tennessee, along with the franchise owner. My hands were shaking. I was so excited. Fast forward 2 years, and my hands were shaking for a very different reason. Pure, cold fear. I was sitting in my kitchen at my circle glass table, and bills were everywhere. They were spread across the table. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was just trying to figure out which ones I could afford to pay. I needed to pay my employees first, and then I had all the other bills. The business was just bleeding money, and I was using personal loans to keep it afloat. Classic mistake, I get it. But when you're in that situation, you will try anything to save your dream. I'd love to hear if you've experienced a devastating money setback. Please share it with the comments below. Sharing can be a huge part of healing, believe me. Okay, so that massive failure became a teacher, like most failures are, and it gave me some ideas about what I needed to do differently, not just to survive financially, but to feel more financially secure in the future, because that is what I was missing at that very moment. I felt very vulnerable, very financially insecure. And these 3 money moves I'm about to share, they're not just theory, they're battle tested. They're forged in the fire of real life financial hardship. They aren't the end all be all to what I call a money management system, which I also have and will share in later episodes. But these are just the first 3 foundational things that you need to have in place. So number one, an emergency fund. The first big money move is to build what I call your freedom fund. And I don't mean like financial freedom where you never have to work again. I mean freedom of peace of mind. An emergency fund can give you freedom of peace of mind. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great. Another person telling me to save money. But stick with me here. Let me explain why this matters so much psychologically. You know that feeling when you're driving down the road and your car starts making a weird noise and your stomach immediately drops because you know you don't have the money to pay for new brakes or a new engine or who knows what it might be. Or when you get an unexpected medical bill. That's what I call financial anxiety, that pit in your stomach. And it's eating away at your mental health every single day. But having an emergency fund, even if it starts small, can change that. Truly, it can. But having an emergency fund, even if it starts small, can change that. Truly, it can. And actually, starting small is crucial because it can change how your brain processes financial stress. It's like having a small safety net while you're walking on a tightrope. Sure, it won't catch you if from a massive fall, but it gives you confidence to walk forward, to take baby steps because there's something down there that can protect you. So here's where the psychology gets interesting. Instead of thinking this massive goal, I need 6 months expenses saved, that can feel very overwhelming. So break that into smaller targets. Save 1 month of expenses. Second, say 3 months of expenses, and then get to your ultimate goal of 6 months of expenses. A month of expenses means whatever your bills are. So your rent or mortgage, your utilities, your groceries, you calculate all of that. How much do you have to spend in a month to live? And that's what you're going to save as 1 month of expenses. So start with as much as you can, even if it's only $50. Ideally, you could start with like $500 to $1,000 because that's enough money to handle most minor emergencies. Break it down. That's saving $83 a month for a year or about $20 a week. Skip 2 takeout meals and you're there. Here's something I've learned the hard way. Your emergency fund needs to be both accessible and yet hard to touch. Two kind of dichotomies, but open a separate account at a different bank than your checking account because out of sight does really mean out of mind. Plus, it typically takes 2 to 3 days to transfer between banks, and that can be a cooling off period if you happen to have an impulse. It's not just about the money, it's about having this emergency fund that helps you with your decision making. When you have a small cushion, you start making decisions from a place of strategy rather than stress or desperation. So start small, but start today because financial freedom isn't about having millions in the bank. It starts with this first small step of financial security. That first 1,000 in your freedom fund will feel better than any purchase you've ever made or ever will make. Believe me. And I would love to hear from you about how you feel about emergency funds. Do you have one? Do you want one? Do you think you're valuable? Comment below, please. Let's talk about the second money move. I call this the momentum method. You've also probably heard it called the debt snowball method. I like to supercharge that idea of a debt snowball with some psychological triggers that make it nearly impossible to quit once you start. Okay, so here is the brutal truth about debt. It's not just a financial burden. It's an emotional vampire that sucks the joy out of every paycheck, every purchase, every financial decision you make. So here's how it works. Arrange your debts from smallest to largest balance, regardless the interest rate. And I know that seems weird. I know that many advisors, they take the biggest interest rate first. Here's this psychological twist. Your brain needs a win, a quick win and regular wins. So that's why we're going to start with the smallest debt first. So list all your debts and you're going to pay the minimum payments on every one except for that smallest debt. You're going to pay the minimum payments every extra dollar you can find to throw at it. So how this might work is, let's say you have a store credit card for $750. You have a personal loan for $3,000. You have a car loan for $8,000. And then you have a student loan for $15,000. By the way, we're not including mortgage debt at this point. So your biggest loan at the moment is a student loan of $15,000. So you're going to start with that first $750 store credit card. You're going to make extra payments, let's say of $200 a month. You will knock that entire credit card bill out in 4 months. And now you're going to roll that $200 plus whatever the minimum payment was that you were making on that store credit card. And that's going to go to the next bill, which is a $3,000 personal loan. And your momentum is going to build and build and grow and grow. Can you see how cool that is? Here's what most people miss about this momentum method. It's not just about becoming debt-free. You are proving to yourself that you can do hard things, that you can do what you told yourself you wanted to do. You can reach goals, and you are building confidence, money confidence, by doing the things you said you wanted to do. And that is worth more than any amount of money. It is what is going to keep you going when things get tough. It helps you say no to new debt because you have paid debt off. You are not going to want to take on new debt. It's what transforms you from someone who is drowning in debt to someone who's in control of their money. So tell me, does debt play a part of your money mindset? Share in the comments below. Okay, the third money move we're going to talk about is investing. I am not talking about sophisticated investing. I understand you're saying, I have debt, I don't have a savings, why would I invest? I just want you to consider investing as something that even if you don't do right now, you will want to do. And I'm going to explain to you why. And it's important to be included in one of your foundations and one of your three top money moves. I am not talking about any kind of get rich quick. Anyone who talks about investing and claims that it is a get rich quick is completely off and you should run. That's just not what we're about. That is just not reality, and it's just not going to work. So here's the truth that nobody likes to talk about. Your savings account is actually losing money every single day. Yep, that's right. With inflation running at more than 3% annually, that money sitting in your savings account earning, say, 0.4% interest is actually worth less and less each year. It's like having a slow leak in a financial tire. Let me talk about some myths that might be holding you back. And that when you hear the word investing, you think investing is for rich people. But remember this, every wealthy person started somewhere. Everyone starts at zero. You don't need thousands to start investing. The real secret is time. Time is more important than the amount. Because of compound interest, starting small beats waiting until you have enough money. Another myth that stops people is it's just too complicated. They hear the word investing and they think crazy, complicated formulas, tactics, things they don't know anything about. But listen, you can invest and it can be complicated, sure, but it doesn't have to be. Just like you don't need to know how a car engine works to drive a car. You don't need to understand every market mechanism to start investing. The other myth is, what if I lose everything? This is a fear that keeps a lot of people stuck. But here's what I wish someone had told me years ago. Not investing is a guaranteed way to lose money to inflation. It's like standing still on an escalator that's going down. And we know this especially right now because inflation is through the roof. So here's what really matters about investing. It's about making your money work for you instead of you always working for your money. It's about creating options for your future. And it's about building wealth slowly and steadily, not getting rich overnight. And it's about beating inflation and maintaining your purchasing power. Think about it this way. Every dollar you earn has two potential futures. It can either be spent today or it can be put to work for tomorrow, creating more dollars for your future. That's really what investing is. It's giving your money a job. Now, today we're not going to talk about exactly how to invest or where to put your money. That's a great conversation for you to have with a qualified financial advisor. I am not a qualified financial advisor. I do my own investing and I have my own ideas, but you should have a qualified financial investor no matter what money you have to invest who can help you build a plan so that even though you're not investing today, you have a path to saving so that you can invest tomorrow. That's where a financial advisor can help you. They will take your goals, they will take your risk tolerance, and they will help you make a plan that's comfortable for you that can bust all those myths and get you started on having your money work for you. So friends, let me wrap this up by telling you why these three money moves, having an emergency fund, paying down debt, and to start thinking about investing are so much more than money tactics. They're your start to a complete defense system. Think about peace of mind. If you had a plan to put these three pieces in place, you could start to build peace of mind, true financial freedom. So in future episodes, we'll go deeper into my money management framework, which I call GROW, G generate for earning and income, R reduce for reduce our spending, O for optimizing, which is saving and investing, and W for wealth, which is building options and financial freedom. So we'll go deeper at some point and talk about GROW, this money management framework, and we'll talk about more specific tools and spreadsheets that help you implement this money management system. But for now, Use these 3 money moves to get started on creating the foundation. Head on over to hermoneycoach.com and sign up for my weekly emails and get more tips and tricks on money mindset. I'd love to hear your go-to money moves, so comment below. If this episode helped you, please share it, subscribe, leave a rating and review. It helps get the word out so we can help others in money setbacks to find peace and momentum. So until next time, remember you have the power to change your financial future, and I'm here cheering you on every step of the way.